You are now listening to Killing the Void with Andrew Parks, a podcast series.
I'm here today with my guest speaker, Max Dill, and I guess I'm his guest speaker for his show. He does, let me get this right, Wolf Spirit Radio, correct, Max?
Correct. That's correct.
And what would you like me to call you? I'm used to calling you Max because that's how I
Just
know
call me
you.
Max. Just call me Max. Fine.
Okay. I guess I want my audience, because my audience isn't really the same as yours. Your audience is a little more aware of who you are. Could you explain to my audience what remote viewing is and how that came to be in your life? I believe it was under the Bush administration, right? The first Bush?
No, it was before that.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. Remote viewing is it's actually taught. The U.S. government is always looking for remote viewers, and actually the is involved in the CIA. The CIA wants remote viewers as to see the future and the past and the present. They're able to do that, and the CIA are looking for people like that, and they're always the remote viewer can do many things. Remote viewer is also a warrior. It can actually do things to hurt other people. I never did get involved in anything like that. I would never do anything like that. I happen to be a natural remote viewer. I was born with a gift, and it involves psychic abilities. You can see many things when you have a target. For example, the CIA uses remote viewers to find documents and areas that are very delicate, to send an agent to spy in that area. So what they do is they give them a target. For example, I'll give you a good example. For example, if there's a document or a secret document that's got to be involved with the of finding a secret about a rocket or a computer that has important information on the inside. So what they do is they gather a whole bunch of remote viewers to go with their minds and go there and look for the information that they're looking for. So.
And they do that. They do that in like a room, like a classroom setting, right, Max? And they give numbers on a board, and you don't know anything about the mission. You just see a set of numbers, right?
Yes, but I don't do it like my remote viewing. It's not like the way they do it.
So you're more natural. You're more naturally psychic than
exactly
learned remote viewer. Because someone like me that doesn't have any psychic abilities, we can kind of learn to become a remote viewer, so to speak, right?
Right.
Yeah, and you're more psychic. Okay.
Yeah, it's
got twice as powerful.
Well, I'm very dangerous. Believe me, if I use it for bad, it would be very dangerous.
Yeah, that's not good. You helped me in the past. You told me that my stepdad had a blood clot and he needed to walk around more and drink water, and he ended up having a stroke a couple years later, and they told him, they said, oh yeah, you probably had lots of blood clots in the past couple years and strokes, mini strokes, and so you were right. So I give you validity to that. And then also you helped me and my fiance with our ghost situation in our house. So you told us what to do with the sage and the playing the audio files of the exorcisms. And it helped. Yeah, Max, what did you do in the military? Because you did that before you became a remote viewer, right, for the CIA?
No. I didn't do any remote viewing for the CIA.
You didn't?
Well, actually, yes and no. I'll explain the yes. Okay. When I was in the military, I joined the military in October 29th, 1974. Actually, that's the date of my birthday. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, I was 20 years old when I joined the military. And then what happened after that, I went to boot camp in Fort Polk, Louisiana. I went boot camp and also went through AIT in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Yeah, I will too. I got a cold I'm fighting. I took some of that colloidal silver too.
Anyway, let me get back to it. What happened was there was a captain that came in and was looking for a tractor trailer driver, and I was the only one that rose his hand. And finally, after that, I was flown to Rice Patterson Air Force Base.
Oh yeah,
in Ohio, and I was told that I was going to drive some classified cargo. At the moment, I didn't remote view any of that, but as soon as I got in the truck and I was heading west. Normally, we would drive at night, and from midnight to about 5 o'clock in the morning, we drive at night only.
Oh wow.
What's that?
I said, wow, only at nighttime. It must be top secret.
It was. I didn't know at the moment what I was carrying, but after that I did. What was in the back started to communicate with me, telepathy. And then after that, I kept going into different bases. When we got about 5 o'clock in the morning, go to another base, spend the night there, and wake up and then do it all over again every day for about 2 or 3 days. And finally, I arrived in, I actually recognized where we're heading. Because once we hit Nevada, I said, we're going to Area 51.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I went with that cargo. And then after that, it just, I don't know if you want me to go into detail about that.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I would appreciate it.
I don't mind at all. After going into Area 51, once you go to the desert, we have to stop in many places in the desert. And the last trip from the night, it put us in Nevada. I had a front escort, a rear escort, and then all of a sudden, right before we head to Carlson to Nevada to Area 51, a helicopter appeared that was above me, and he was keeping an eye on the cargo.
Wow. So were they afraid of someone trying to steal the cargo, or were they afraid of you trying to get away with the cargo, or
none of what you said?
Oh, no.
No, that helicopter always appeared right before we crossed the border into Nevada, and it's protecting the cargo.
Okay.
And us too. It was not a regular helicopter. It was a gunship helicopter.
Wow.
I've never said that before in any of my interviews because I don't want to give too much detail, but I guess I'm going to have to. It was at that time when I was there, it was a gun. It was a Huey helicopter with weapons on it.
Yeah.
And so once we got through crossing into the desert of Area 51, we went through these roads that normally I believe that would have been the first time. Well, that was the first time when I went through there. What they did, they had x-rays. They x-rayed the whole bottom of the truck, make sure nobody's hanging on to it or anything like that. We had to stop 3 times to scan. And then when we got to, so once I get into the gate where there's a person in the gate there. And he sees the cargo and the helicopter and all that. The escort in front of me turned left, and the helicopter disappeared. And then the escort behind me, I saw it turn left. There's a guy inside the tractor trailer while I was driving. There's a guy in there. He says, "You need to turn right here." So I turned right, and I was like on a taxiway of where an airplane would take off or something like that. I started driving toward a mountain, and the guy says, "Stop at the yellow line you see." So I stopped right within 3 feet of the yellow line. He says, "Do you see anything yet?" He says, "No, I don't. Just see the mountain. Once you cross the yellow line, you'll see what I'm talking about." I could tell there was something behind that yellow line. So I crossed it with a truck. He told me to go ahead and go because he got a radio message that go ahead and continue. So I crossed the yellow line. As soon as I crossed it, the entrance of the going downstairs to Area 51, it was in front of me as soon as I crossed that yellow line.
The entrance, so it was like an illusion or something? I'm confused on that.
No, it's a hologram.
Oh, wow.
It blocked the entrance to the Area 51.
So we had that technology even way back then in the 70s.
Oh, after I crossed the line, I saw a lot of things. My remote viewing went crazy. It was giving me information from every direction.
Wow. So it was also like a force field at the hologram area or something?
It was a hologram that was projected so you couldn't see the entrance.
Yeah.
And they've had that for over 30 years.
Wow. And so did that go into like a tunnel network into the mountain, or what was that like?
I got up there, and there's a couple military police guys from the Air Force of the entrance. And he told me to go drive the tractor trailer through the tunnel, that I will come to a stop. There'll be another military guy there. The guy was next to me. He didn't say a word after I entered the tunnel. And then once I get to the end, he says, "You'll stop at the end, and you'll be guided to go into an elevator where it'll take the tractor trailer."
So there was an elevator that can it was large enough for a big truck and trailer? It was that big of an elevator?
Yeah, it would take the elevator
wow.
up to 2 levels. So I went down into with the actual elevator and went down. And finally, when I get to the bottom, it was only 2 levels for the tractor trailer. So I went to the bottom level, and I was instructed to follow and to a mark on the floor, and then I had to back up, and I backed up, and I was told to stay in the truck, and then finally the military security says, "All right, go ahead and get out and follow this person here, and he will take you where you can have breakfast and whatever." So I went with him, and I took my bag that I brought with me, and they searched it. And I went into, went down. I went down to level 10.
Wow.
I went down level 10, 10 floors down. It's 100, like 100 feet down. And then I was instructed to follow the 2 MPs that were waiting for me there. I went down the elevator, and then I went to do 2 MPs there, and they took me to have breakfast. And I had breakfast, whatever I wanted. They had everything. So I had breakfast, and then I was instructed to go to the commander's office. So I went to the commander, and he says, "You're going to be here about 3 days." He says, "Give me your military ID." So he gave me another ID. They keep my military ID. So and they gave me another ID. They gave me a classification to go 2 more levels down, where my quarters were going to be. So the MPs took me there, and these MPs were all Air Force.
And were they all really serious, Max, or were they normal? Like, how did they act, really?
Well, you weren't when the MPs when they start to escort me to go eat, they instructed me that don't ask any questions to no one and not talk to anyone. That's the first rule. So finally, when I finished eating, I went down to my quarters and I asked them a question. They wouldn't even talk to me. So the only time they talked to me, he says, "You stand right here and just always stand in front of this door for 3 seconds. And then the door will open. You go in, but once you go in, you can't come out until we tell you to come out, because the door won't open." So I get in, and I felt something scanning my whole body. Even back then, the technology is so far advanced. It's more advanced than any country in the world.
So they probably had someone in a booth watching you, right, in your cell. Well, it's like a cell, your room.
Well,
sorry, I called it the cell.
You're right about that, because the room was being monitored all the time. It had cameras in there. You can actually see the cameras.
Oh, okay. So they weren't even hidden. They just, you knew.
Yeah. Now, and when you get to the bathroom, you do your private things in it. There was a camera there behind the mirror. I picked up on all that. I'm very sensitive. When I'm being monitored, I know where all the cameras are. Being a remote viewer, I pick up. I'm very sensitive. So I went to the bathroom. I said, "There's a camera in here." And I started looking around. I saw it right away. It was in the mirror. And every time I took a shower or whatever, whenever I did something in the bathroom, I put shaving cream on the mirror.
Did they get mad at you or no?
Oh yeah, they got pissed off at me. And that's the first time I started getting in trouble there.
Oh, the first time. So you're a troublemaker.
Well, I don't like to be pushed around.
Yeah.
Or told what to do. So as soon as I got in there, I sat down at the sofa. The sofa was like, it was leather. I sat on that sofa, and it was magazines of all kinds. Of course, no addresses. But anyway, I read a lot of stuff, read some books in there and stuff like that. They do have a library there. But it's not like you think. They don't want you to know anything about anything in there.
So can I interrupt you real quick? I got a couple questions. So when you drove in, I'm going to back up a little bit. When you drove into the tunnels in your big diesel truck and trailer, you said there was elevators, so we got that covered. But how big are these tunnels? Was there like enough room to turn around, or did they just loop around, or how did that work?
Plenty of room to make a U-turn. Okay.
Wow, those are huge underground.
No, man, you don't know. You know the half of it.
And then when you're in the base, Max, so this is my second question, because you're a tall guy. I don't think people understand watching this video. You're like 6'8", right?
When I went into the military, I was 6'3".
6'3". Now I'm confused.
No, it's according to the height and the weight.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of room to turn around the truck down there. It's a very huge place. These tunnels go forever.
And then like when you're in the quarters there, um, in your room and in the cafeteria and in the commander's office, are those pretty big, like normal size buildings too, or are they smaller?
It's not like you used to see building outside. This is all on the ground. Okay. Yeah, there are walkways, just like if you're in a mall, you're walking down a big hallway like that. It's all just like that. It's just on the ground. It's a huge place.
Wow.
It's bigger than the city down there.
Oh, really? It's like a whole city. Jesus.
Area 51 is quite large on the ground. And not only that, a lot of the information they got out there about Area 51 is more than 24 levels.
Jesus.
It goes down quite down, more than 24 levels. I've actually been in level 34.
Oh wow. Yeah, so okay, let's continue your story then. You were you put shaving cream on the bathroom mirror so they don't spy on you and you got in trouble.
Yeah,
so what happened after that?
Well, after that, for about, as soon as I got out, I would, do my business in the bathroom, come out, and I start hearing a telepathic message. I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't. I wanted to know what the heck I was going into, what I was going to go into while I was there. And then about 2-3 hours later, the door opens, and these two Air Force MPs says, "You need to come with us." Okay, so I'm walking down the hallway, and we get on the elevator, go back up to level 10 because I had classification to go down to level 12.
Yeah, for your
but
room.
I'm not allowed to walk around level 12. All I'm gotta do is go straight to my room, and that's it. Can't be snooping around. The whole place is monitored.
Yeah.
So finally, I go to level 10, and the commander of Area 51 happens to be right now one of my best friends. But I got in trouble when I was there a lot with him, believe me.
Oh, okay. So in the present right now, he's your friend.
He's my friend.
Okay.
All I can say, he lives in Tennessee. I can't give the location where he lives.
Oh, yeah, you don't have
For
to.
security reasons. I do care about him. He's my friend. He's my buddy now. But before, when I was there, I got in trouble a lot with him. Believe me, But anyway, I went to his office, and he says, "There's something special about you." He says, "What do you mean?" "There's something special about you. I know it. I can feel it." He says, "What do you think it is?" He says, "I know you got great psychic abilities. We know that. When you went through, you gotta listen to this. When I went through Area 51 and first time, and when I walked through all the hallways, they start monitoring you. But I'll tell you one thing: when you go in the room where I was staying, it checks your vital signs automatically. It's like if they put you on a lie detector, and it does it automatic. Okay.
Wow.
The technology in there was incredible.
And that's in the 70s. That's crazy.
Yeah, in the 70s. There was more than you think in that place. And he says, because Max is not my real name.
Yeah, we know that. It's your pseudonym.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal in this interview my real name. Okay. Maybe later. It's out there. I'm not going to say my real name.
Yeah, I know your real name, but I'm not going to do that to you. I know you as Max mostly, so.
Yeah, well, everybody, even my wife calls me Max. Well, Max is my nickname.
Uh-huh.
And Max is really my nickname, but and not my real name. Okay. He said to me, I want to take you to another location of Area 51. But I'm not ready for you. I'm not ready to take you there yet. He says, once I take you there, your classification changes. It gets more classified. You can't talk about this once you go back and get another cargo, secret cargo. So I said, what do I do between now and then? What do I do? He says, you can go outside. You can go outside. So I said, what do I do? He says, well, do you smoke? I said, I do. Why don't you go outside and smoke? I said, I don't know my way out of here. I don't know my way around here. And they don't give you a map. They won't give you nothing like that. So when you want to go outside, and I was always escorted. I was never alone. So when I come out of his office, he said, stand right outside the door there. Call one of the MPs. He wants to go outside. Go in and take him outside. Okay? Don't let him wander. He's not ready yet. So finally I go outside, and the first thing I did is light up a Cuban cigar. Because I had 3 of them with me. So I go outside and smoke, and finally those MPs start talking to me because I got really friendly to them. So we're not supposed to talk to you. And don't ask any questions. We won't answer. Is this okay? But that cigar smells good. You want one?
So you bribed them with cigars?
They both like smoking cigars. The 2 guys with me. I said, would you like to try it? I'm going to be sitting out here. There were some benches outside. So we all 3 of us sit there. We're all smoking those Cuban cigars, and we're going crazy smoking it. And they're all smoking it. And then they opened up on me. I did it on purpose. And I started getting very comfortable with them. They became my friends. A lot of them did.
Yeah, so you broke the ice. And when you said you went outside, was it into a tunnel, or did you go up like floor 1 or?
No, we went to walked through the hallway to a different elevator that would take you straight up. It didn't stop at any levels. It just stopped outside. Okay, through a part of the wall of the mountain. I said there's many buildings outside. The ones that you normally used to see when they got the top view of Area 51 that's out there. So I went over there. So after we finished smoking, he says, they get a radio call that they want me to come down again. So I go with these guys. He said, how fast do we have to go down there? He said, well, it can take another 5 minutes. So I turned off the cigar and took it with me because I ain't going to throw it away. That's a very expensive cigar. So I showed them how to take the ashes out so we can go downstairs. So we went downstairs. The commander says to me, I have decided to take you to the other location. And so the location is called Sector 4, which everybody knows it by S4. Sam, S4 for Sam. So we get in one of the trucks, and the MPs were in the truck too with me. And the Area 51 commander was in the right. I was behind him, but actually on the driver's side. And he started talking to me. He says, we're going to S4. Actually, that's 12 miles southwest of Area 51. So we get.
And what is the S4? I guess maybe you'll tell us in the story, because I honestly don't know what S4 is.
Okay, S4 is a secret base, not too far from Area 51. It is connected. Area 51 is where the smaller spacecraft are taken. And then they examine it, and then they take it to S4. S4 was, they keep all the UFOs, the flying disc, all different types of, and it's taken 4 levels down. That's what S4. S4 is 4 levels down. There's S1, there's S1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We went down with the truck down to there was no elevator, we just drove down. And you could see as you're driving down the sectors on the walls. So we came to sector 4, which is 4 floors on the ground. And then we went to, there's some bays in there. I went to bay 7. And there was a general there. And the commander talked to him. I was told to stay in the truck. And finally, I was told to get out. MP got radio. I bring him here to base 7. As I was walking in front of these bays, I was getting telepathy messages. The UFOs were talking to me. Telepathic. The ships were talking to me.
Oh, so the ships are they could think, they're sentient?
Yes, they do all that. The ships are, a lot of people think it's artificial intelligence. It's not. It's real intelligence. They have their own minds. And the minds are controlled by the ship. It's like walking inside of a robot. And you talk to it and answer questions. All right. When I got in, I saw the ship floating in the air. It was a round disc, about 50-foot diameter. The commander and the general said to me, well, I saluted him and all that. And the general said, you think you can open that crap? Why would I know how to open a crap?
Yeah.
I don't have no experience in any of that. He says, I have a feeling that you can't open it. He said, get near it. I said, no, I'm not going to get near it. That thing got radiation. I could feel it. They do have radiation. And so what before I got close to the ship, the MPs gave me a pill, and I swallowed it. I kind of felt it was potassium iodide, protect me from radiation. So I took it, and that's why they were keeping me in truck for a little while. And then finally they told me, okay, it's clear for you to go. They were making sure that it was digested into my system.
Mm-hmm.
So finally I told you, okay, I'll try. I mean, I can't guarantee anything. I have faith in you. You can do it. You're a very special person. We all know that. Go to the ship. So I went there, walked kind of, not afraid of nothing. So I get to the ship, and then I looked underneath. There was some markings underneath there. And this ship was black. It was round and black. And so I walked around. The ship started talking to me. And it told me to put my left hand. It guided me to where I had to put my left hand. I put my left on when the ship told me where to put it. I put it there, and the door opened up.
Oh, wow. And so wait, before you continue, so it's a round, about 50 feet round ship, and it's all black. But what does it look like? Does it look like 2 Frisbees put together, or is there a little dome on the top in the center? Like how?
Yeah, just like that. It looked like a Frisbee with a dome on top.
Oh,
That's
okay.
correct. That's good description of it. And finally, when I got in, just before I started to get in, well, the ship told me that I had to go in by myself. And as soon as I opened it up, the general says, "All right, move away from it." I said, "General, I can't let you go in." He said, "What do you mean you can't let me go in?" "General, you're not supposed to go in. Neither the commander or none of you can go in. The ship wants me to go in by myself." And all of a sudden, the general started going like this, and the ship turned to a different color.
Oh wow!
It turned silver. It changed color. You know what it did?
No, what did it do?
The ship changed to alert mode. Alert mode. MODE. It went to alert because the general started getting a little bit. He changed his voice with me. Start giving me orders to stand away from the ship. I said to the general, "Sir, what happened to all your kindness? And now you're trying to get nasty with me?" He says, "Let me tell you something, General. You said I'm special. I am. I'm very special. I'm going to tell you another thing. If I don't go inside that ship in the next 5 minutes, the ship will close. You'll never be able to get in. I won't be able to open it up." He said, "What do you mean? I got scientists coming here to board that ship. They're not going to be able to. As soon as you get near that ship, the door will close and will never open it again. And not only that, the ship will leave this place because this ship can get out. And the reason it has not got out because it's waiting for me. I'm the person who's going to be able to enter it. And if you don't let me enter it, no one's getting in there." So he said, "All right, permission granted." So actually the bottom is where the doors open. I went in. I start stepping on the ladder. It looked like a ladder going upstairs in a building. Kind of. It was a little bit round. I stepped on it and I felt like my foot was going to go through it. It was so light. So I get in and the door behind me closed. And they start yelling outside, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I just said, "Just calm down." As soon as I got into the ship, the center of the ship is round all the way around. It has a walkway all the way around. Most of the ship is in the center. Okay. Now, when I got inside that ship, it looked bigger than what it looked on the outside. I need to tell you that it's bigger on the inside.
Okay, so it's taller and wider on the inside than it looks on the outside. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I went around the whole thing and I went back the other way, same way I came. There's energies in there that are off the charts. I'm very sensitive with frequencies. I know about frequencies. Also, I was guided to go to any part of the wall of the ship. So I stood there and I remember that I was in another ship before, not there in Area 51, because I met some other extraterrestrial long time ago before I went in there when I was very young. I think I was 15 years old when I had the first experience. But anyway, actual experience, real experience of the fourth kind. I've been in ships before, other ships.
So were you abducted then?
No, I was not abducted. I was guided there and met with the ship. This is another thing that happened to me before the military. So I get to the wall of the ship, and the wall opened up the height of my body. And I was told to step forward. I did. I felt these rings go up and down. I didn't see them. They were just invisible. What it was adjusting my body, my human body. It was adjusting it so I will be able to breathe the oxygen inside the craft. Inside in the center is very different. It's like if you were up in an airplane at 30,000 feet, you have to breathe oxygen.
Wow. Yeah.
So they adjusted my body, my lungs, and everything to I can be able to breathe inside the ship. I go inside the ship, the door behind me closed, and I was guided to go to the not the center, but on the wall. There was a lot of controls there, and I start seeing these symbols flying in the air in front of that. It was coming from right to left, like a marquee. So I see all these symbols, and I recognized them instantly. I was told put both of my hands on the panel, and what it did that there was energy going through my fingers and the bottom of my palm, and it was on both hands. I was getting a download of what the ship, everything about the ship, how it was made, who made it, where they come from, everything. Now, on the first interview that I did with Stephen D. Kelly on January 2nd, 2014, and January 9th, 2014, I had two shows, one in a row of the first of that year. I told everyone I couldn't say it because there was a contract that I signed when I left all this stuff and retired from the military. I had to sign it. I signed it when I left the Earth 51, and many years later. So I couldn't tell the truth about it. I had to put another name in there. The ship was not, I mentioned it was Procyon ship. It was Procyon people are from the Andromeda star system. It wasn't Procyon. It was reptilian. The ship was reptilian. Okay. Now, the ship told me everything about it.
And so you just said where the other ETs are from, the Andromeda, but where are the reptilians from? Are they from our solar system?
They're from many places. They're from Orion, the constellation Orion. They're from the Draco star system, Draconians. These reptilians that flew that ship was from Orion. Now, there are many types of reptilians. There are some good reptilians out there. But knowing the way I am, it's like I have an old saying, assume nothing and question everything.
That's a good one. I like
That's the way I think, okay? So I didn't trust it. But anyway, I kept my mind open and blank, and the ship told me it was made. What really amazed me about that ship that taught me, as soon as I put my hands on it, it showed me how it was made and what made it work. Is you can make that ship fly. You don't have to touch it, anything. You can use your mind and fly it anywhere you want. You just put in your mind what star system you want to go, and it'll take you there. Okay, you know what made that ship work? You know how we have electricity wires through our houses?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Guess what? How it communicated and sent all the signals to everywhere. Fiber optic. That's where fiber optic came from.
So like the internet then, that we use, the high-speed internet?
Yeah, that's how they communicate. The ship communicated with everything that made it work. There was no wires. It was fiber optic with lights. That's where fiber optic came from on these spacecraft. And a lot of these spacecraft work with that. that same system. It's like your body, human body has veins. The blood's got to flow through it. It's the same thing. That's how I did it. The same way. But it had these tubes of light. And these tubes some of them were exposed where you could see the lights go through it, and some weren't. But it's the same concept of all that. So it was pretty incredible. But after that ship downloaded a lot of information in my head. A lot. It gave me superpowers, gifts that I didn't have.
So awakened you in a lot of sense.
Yeah, it did.
I want to stop you real quick. Now the ship, can you see outside? Can you see the people outside that you just left behind, the sergeant and the military police, or
yes,
the general?
Okay, let me explain how that works. Okay, you're not looking through a window. You're not. Anywhere you look, all you had to do is think in your mind that you want to look outside, and this is how you see. All of a sudden, in your mind, you say, I want to see outside. And guess what? When you're looking outside, you're actually outside.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's like your mind and the ship's mind are connected, and you can see through its eyes and it can see through yours.
Yeah, it makes me a part of this ship. I'm actually outside looking around. If I was standing outside the ship, and if I want to look on top of the ship, I could see on top of the ship like if I was floating on top of the ship looking down on everybody. That's the abilities. When you're in the ship, it gives you those abilities to see outside. It's really incredible.
And is there like a quarters in there, like a bedroom for the old driver?
No, none of that stuff is in there. The reptilians in that ship, it had four seats. As soon as I got to the center of the ship, I said, I thought in my mind, like if the ship was mine, I had full control of the ship. I said, "Where's the sitting of the pilot?" As soon as I said that, and this beautiful chair comes out. It was quite large because these reptilians were very tall. That was on that craft. The seat, I looked at the seat and said, "Man, that's bigger than me." So the ship said, "Sit down." I sat on the chair, and it took the shape of my body. It got smaller because those seats were for a person that was 8 feet tall.
Oh wow, Jesus!
So as soon as I said that, I got into the chair, and the chair took the shape of my body, and I was very comfortable. It didn't have cushion like this, like my chair here is very comfortable. It was better than this.
Oh wow!
You could actually sit there for a long time. I felt not like I felt comfortable.
And do you know what happened to its old crew, the 4 reptilians that were in it before you?
I asked the ship, and the ship told me that they were taken away.
Oh.
Let me tell you how that ship got there. This ship was flying in our atmosphere, in the Earth's atmosphere. There's a satellite that we have up there. We have many of them. I believe there's a total of 12 all over the planet. Okay? When there's a ship that comes near it, it shoots a beam of light to the ship. It grabs the ship. Ship can't get loose. And then down on the grounds of Area 51, there's a truck that has the same kind of technology that the satellite does have. So what they do is they change the polarity of the ship, and the ship does a free fall. The ship goes a free fall down to the Earth, and then the satellite, another satellite, takes a hold of it as it's going free fall right down to the ground where the truck is at. So when it does that, it's like the truck grabs a hold of it and it just puts on the brakes.
Oh,
And
wow.
the ship will go down, come down free fall real fast. And then the truck picks the frequency, changes the polarity again, slows it down, but the ship cannot get loose. It floats down and they grab it when they change the polarity on it. And then they grab it and then they put it on the truck and they put this special kinds of chains. They changed that technology. Even back then, this technology was given to them by the tall whites. Okay?
And the tall whites, is that like the gray aliens, but they're tall and white, or
No,
do they look like us, or?
They got a human form. They got arms and legs and head and all that. They're very tall and white. They're very dangerous, and they're cannibalism.
Oh, so are these like the giants in our history, where the government tries to hide them when we find a skeleton, or are they different?
No, that's completely different.
Oh,
They're not the same ones at all. Some
because
of them,
I heard those were cannibals too. That's why I asked.
yeah, they're different. They confuse them a lot of time with the Nordics.
Oh, okay.
The Nordics, they always say the Nordics look, they're white. They're white color, skin, pale, but the Nordics have evolved since they've been on Earth. They're not the same. Okay, there are some Nordics that are do work with these types of tall whites. About 2,000 of them have crossed over to them. They are bad. The rest of the Nordics are not bad people. Okay. I want to get away from the ship just a little bit.
Okay.
I want to explain something that needs to be known. We have two areas that the tall whites were allowed to be. It's called Area 53 and Area 54. It's to the southwest, more west than south from Area 51. It's called Area 53 and Area 54. They were granted to stay there and use whatever technology they had. They had to share with the Americans, the military. It was kept secret for many years. Some of the information is already out there for the public to know. Okay? So I want to make that clear. Okay?
And why are they here? Were they like outlaws that they're running from their own?
No, they're not. They're not running from their own people. They wanted to have a base here on the planet.
Oh, okay, I see.
A lot of the things that are going around with mutilating the animals. They find cows with all kinds of organs missing.
Yeah.
They're the ones doing that. And also the grays do it too. The small grays. There are different types of grays. There's 9 types of grays.
Jesus.
The worst of the grays are the yellow ones. The yellow and the orange grays are the worst. Okay? Now, the orange and the yellow are not allowed to be on Earth. They can't come here. If they do, they break the treaties between the other grays that are here, they were allowed to stay. Okay? The grays are down below, even lower than Area 51. Okay? I've actually been down that way.
Okay, so let's get back to the story though. So the truck catches the ship. We put the special chains over the ship that you got from the tall whites. And then I'm guessing you take that back to Area 51 or Section 4. And then is that when the reptilians got out and they were captured by our government, or how did that work?
Let me explain something. Excuse me. When the ship gets hit by the satellite up in the sky in space, gets a hold of the ship, and it changes the polarization of the inside, the outside of the ship, actually knocks out these reptilians and knocks them out because the energy goes right through the ship. And what it does, it puts them to sleep. It knocks them out. They go unconscious, and they can't move and all that. Now, they have technology that they can see inside the ship. The truck has that technology. They can see the ship, see what's inside. Once they see what's inside, it gets radio in to the commander, and then they bring it to a certain part of Area 51. And then they remove the bodies. Well, these ships they're able to open these ships because they have a technology that can open it. It changes the polarity of the ship. The ship fly. It's the reverse engineering that they've been talking about when Bob Lazar worked on them.
Yeah.
And it's a reverse technology. What that means is that these ships fly like if it was a big magnet. You know how they change the polarity when you get two magnets, some stick together, some move away.
Move away, yeah.
The move away is the technology that they use to fly these ships. They know how to do it. It's like bending space. It's like turning on the water from your shower. Or let's say the kitchen faucet, you turn the water and you stick a nail through the water, and you go through it and you go right through it, and the nail goes right through it. It's the same technology. It's the way they fly these ships. I know a lot of secrets about these ships, more than anybody that's out there. Because when I went out, when the scientists showed up, I went out. The ship told me not to tell them everything. Only what they ask. If you ask a question, you answer it. Don't go past the question and explain more.
Yeah.
That's why I say assume nothing, question everything. That's my technique. So when I'm asked a question, I just answer it. I don't go beyond that. You will get in trouble if you do that. Then they got you. They'll do whatever. You'll be a guinea pig for them. So I never said anything beyond what they asked. They did a couple times ask more. I played dumb. And when I'm talking about the ship is listening. And the ship guides me what to say. This ship trusts me because who I am, where I come from. So I got out of the ship, and the scientist went in. I told the scientist, don't touch nothing. They said, well, how are we supposed to investigate? Well, if you want to investigate something, what is it you want to know? The scientist said everything about it. I said, well, good luck. So they went in. I went with the general, and the commander back to Air 51. And I was congratulated for what I did. But when I came out of Base 7, where that ship was, all the rest of the ship that were in the base just started talking to me like I was talking to a person with my mind. They were talking to me, telepathy. All the ships there.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I mean, it went. I was like, damn, and I was going like this with my eyes, and I could see the general looking at me, and he would turn around and talk to me, and the commander and my eyes were going like this. He says, "Why are your eyes doing that?" and he says, "I don't know. I might have got something, dust something in my eyes. I had to make up something.
Yeah.
Maybe I got some debris or something on my eyes. So I tell you what, I'll take you to sick bay and check you out." And what I did is I created and manifested something in my eye. They won't catch up with what I was doing. I was able to do. I had these abilities that I was able to create and manifest many things. I was more important than those ships in there, believe me. And so he says, "Man," General says, "Let's go eat." It was more like lunchtime, ready to go eat. So we went. We got in there about 12:30. Everybody's supposed to go eat around 11 and get out at 12, because some of the generals will go in there and talk to the whoever. They didn't want nobody to hear what was going on. So I went in there with a general. There's a whole bunch of generals in there, the colonels and captains and stuff like that.
So it was like the officers' mess. It was their time to eat.
Exactly. They were separated. That's the way it was done there. So I was the only private in the whole place with all these big wheels and stuff like that. And so the general said to me, "You're going to be very important to us here." He said, "I thought I was going to drive these tractor trailers." He says, "You will when we want you to do it, but you're going to be staying here for a while." He says, "I'm in the military." "Yeah, I know. We're military. This is military. This is a base, a military secret base." He said, "All right, you're going to learn a lot of things." I said to myself, "I already know more than all of you guys put together. all the secret. You think that? I don't know." They didn't know that the ship was communicating with me. They didn't know that. I never told them. But they kind of figured that out.
Yeah.
So the general says, "You're going to have top secret clearance up today. You're going to get a new ID." Okay. The ID had my picture. All these ID had my picture on it, but it didn't show my name on any of these ID. These IDs were like the ones that we have now, that's made out of a PVC plastic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and you can put it on when you going down the elevator. You got to put that card. There's a place where you put that card in there, and it knows where to take you. You can't go down all those levels down there because they won't let you. It's programmed from 12 up to the surface. But I was not allowed to get out in level 9 or 11, only 10 and 12. And upstairs, out to the surface.
Yeah.
And so it was the only time that I could go. It would skip from 10, it would go from 10 all the way up to first.
And was the military police, were they still guarding you, or?
Oh yeah. Everywhere I was escorted, I felt like important, like I was the president of the United States and they were escorting me everywhere. The Secret Service. That's the way I felt like. It was really cool about it. The whole thing, it was really cool. I kind of liked it. But I got me in trouble. On the third day, I got in trouble. It was late at night, and actually, I was in my quarters. And I got the telepathy every day for 3 days. I finally listened to it. And it was a hybrid female that was talking to me. It was half human and half gray. So she started talking to me, and I start talking back to her. She wanted to meet me. She says, I can't get out of here. She says, I can get you out. He says, yeah, but there are cameras here everywhere, and they'll see me. He says, I'll take care of the cameras and get you out of there. Before you know it, the damn door opened up. Door opened up, and telepathy says, go out the door, turn right. I turned right. I went straight to the elevator. And I made a mistake and put the damn card and put it in the elevator. And somehow, I don't know what happened after. The elevator opened up. I got in. I went down to about level 21. The door opened. I said, am I supposed to get out of here? I said, are you kidding? 2 scientists walk in. And they're talking to each other. Man, I can't believe that. I was told not to say nothing. I was like invisible inside the elevator. They didn't even turn around to look at me. They just went another floor and got out. Door closed, and I kept going down. The door opened at level 29. Now, let me explain something. The elevator, this elevator, yeah, it had buttons. You're going to go to a different level, you put your card in there, hit the button, and then it'll take you whatever level if you have that classification.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the elevator took me to level 29. The door opens, and I get out, and it was not like the walls up above where you're going through buildings, like the wall of a building.
Yeah.
Down there was a big cavern. I walk out of the elevator. I look to my left, and I saw hundreds of thousands of vines. These vines had these small capsules where these grays were living, it was growing grays.
Oh, so they were like artificial wombs, like babies were in there or something?
Yeah, they were capsule. Then I look over to the left, against the wall, next to the elevator, there was these 500-gallon tanks. I know about gallons. I can tell there were around 500, 2 of them. And there was a red liquid in there. I didn't pay too much attention, so the telepathic came and said, turn right, turn left, turn right, and then turn left again through the mountain, underground, cavern. So I did that. I remember how I was turning. That way I can come back the same way. But she guided me. This door opened up in the wall, and I went in. It said, come on in. The door closed behind me by itself, and there was a hybrid sitting there on a table. She started asking me all kinds of questions. She only had 3 hairs going down her head like this.
3 hairs. Did she look human, or did she have clothes on, or how tall was she?
She had clothes, not regular clothes like normal humans. It was all white like a robe.
Oh, okay.
Like they ones they have at the hospital they put on you. That's what she had on. It was white though. She had a big head. She had a big head like the Greys. She had big eyes. She had a nose that looked like a baby, like a little baby. Had a nose. Had small ears. It was more, had a combination of gray and human.
And what color was she? Her skin?
Her skin was a pale gray.
Okay.
Okay, and she had not 5 fingers, she had 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
how was that, like 3 and a thumb, or?
Actually, it was if you take your pinky out. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But these 3 fingers were longer,
Oh.
a lot larger than a human hand.
And could she talk, or was it just all telepathic?
No, it was telepathy all the time.
Yeah.
I talked to her a few times by voice. She said she preferred if I talked to her in telepathy.
Oh, okay.
And that's the way she communicated with me. I'm not used to talking telepathy. I am more now than before because I do talk telepathy. Telepathy is a universal language. Whatever you can't identify. If a different extraterrestrial you've never seen before, he communicates with you telepathy. Telepathy is a universal language. It doesn't matter where you're at in the planet or another universe, you can still talk to the person. Telepathy is a universal language to many universal.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
it's not English or Spanish or whatever. It's
just something that you know, right? It's like,
yes,
you just know what they're thinking, so to speak.
For example, right now you're talking, and my mind is talking the same language you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
And every word that you say, it pops in my head at the same time that you're talking. It's like if I was repeating exactly what you're saying. It's really incredible how communication between different types of species of extraterrestrials. Some extraterrestrials don't like to be called extraterrestrials. They like to be called entities.
Oh, okay.
Some of them get in a little. Some of them do get a little bit not angry, but they don't like it. Yeah, I can tell. Their eyes change and their body language changes. I learned a lot of stuff from.
And so, what did this hybrid girl? Did she have a name, and what did she want?
No, she didn't tell. She didn't have a name. She didn't. I asked her, now that I'm here, what do you want me to do? She says, I want to know about the procreation of a human being. Like sex. She asked me all that. I explained it to her. I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah. You don't have to.
You can understand what she wanted. So she wanted to see my penis. I showed it to her. Then she showed me hers. When she showed me hers, I about to freak out. I almost fell backward when I saw what I was. I can't go into detail. I'm going to tell you, it had both sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the penis didn't look like a human either. It was different. Oh, man. Anyway, and we talked for a little while. She says, it's time for you to go. I think we talked for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. She said, time to go. The guards will be here very soon. He said, what, human guards? I said, no, our own. And you can't be down here. If you get caught down here, they will hurt you. He said, no, they won't. I will hurt them. And she thought about it for a moment. She says, yeah, that's right. You will hurt them. So, she got me out. I went back and forth, left, right, and then I got to the elevator. Elevator opened. I got in there as quick as I could. As soon as I got in that elevator, that it was closing like this, I saw those guards go by.
And were they hybrids also, or were they full gray?
They're full gray, and these were taller. She was approximately about 5 feet tall or less. These were bigger. The ones I saw, these grays were like probably about 7 feet tall.
Wow.
Their arms were a lot longer. It's like a gorilla, they got the arms really long. It was like that. Their hands were like at least 2 foot from the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got up, got on level 12, went straight to my room. The room opened up, and then I said, God, no, I don't want to experience. So I went and took a shower and then put shaving cream. Well, I put shaving cream in the camera first, and they didn't like that. So I didn't want to be seen and recorded and naked. Are you crazy? I'm not going to do that. So I got in trouble for that anyway. Finally, it was morning. You can't tell if you're morning. You can't look out the windows if it's daylight. There's nothing like that. All the walls, you're like in a room with no windows because you're on the ground. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that feeling at all. I had a hard time sleeping, but I was able to sleep later. They gave me these pills so I can, not to have a phobia. I've been closed in. They gave me this pill so I can calm down, sleep better. So I did sleep good. And then finally, the door opened up. And I said, okay, it's time to go. He said, before we take you to breakfast, we need to stop on level 10. Now, on level 10, there's a room, has no numbers, no nothing on it. And when I was brought in that room, there was scientists everywhere. They told me that I had to sit in this special chair. They put a ring around my head. Guess what? Even back then, in those years, they put that ring on your head and they can see everything that you were thinking about.
Oh, jeez.
And watch it on a monitor. Okay?
Oh, wow. So they could act like a TV? They could see your thoughts?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I had to block all that, my thoughts. And guess what? I was able to block it. I projected that I was in my room, that I was reading a book, that I was, then I went to take a shower. They saw me when I put the shaving cream because I saw myself in the monitor that I put shaving cream on the camera. So they saw that. So I start to pick up a signal that somebody was watching, was looking in my head, but watching in a different direction. And what that was is there was a gray in that room that will connect telepathy, envision everything that I was trying to create manifest. when I felt that, I blocked it. You couldn't see in my head. I was able to fool the computer and the gray.
Oh, wow.
Because the ship that I got into helped me with it. The ship became my friend.
And they were doing this because you put your security card in the elevator and that alerted them?
That girl erased everything. But there was missing time on the monitor, on the recording, because they checked the recordings on everyone every day. And they found out there was a lost time in the recording. So they did pick up on that. So the commander comes in and says, okay, did you go out of the room? He says, no, I was reading. How can I get out? You guys block everything. He said, we noticed that sometimes you want to get out. I said, yeah, I know. I want to try and see if I could get out. That's true. I did that a couple times, but you can't because it's locked up. I feel like I'm in prison. He says, tell us the truth. Did you leave the room? He says, no, I didn't leave the room. And then he says, you're not telling the truth. Yes, I am. Can you prove it that I am not saying that I'm telling you the truth? Can you prove to me? I said, then I talk a little bit rough with him. So let me tell you something. One thing, I follow orders. Okay? I don't like them all the time when I'm ordered to do something, but I'm telling you the truth. I don't give a shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said that on the radio. But
oh, no, it's fine.
I don't give a shit what you think or what I say or what. I don't give a shit about that. So don't push me. because I'll push harder than you do. So if you want to try something, try it now. You know what he did? He pulled it. He took the 45 from the MP and he put it on my head right here.
Oh shit!
And I never told that part of the story on any of my interview. This is the first time I'm revealing that in this show here with you.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
That's scary.
So he put a gun in my head. He said, either you talk or I'm going to blow your head off. I said to him, you're playing games with me. And by the way, I have to say another bad word because I really told him this. He said, you don't have the balls to pull the trigger. And then I laughed.
Oh.
And you know what he did? He took the 45 from my hand and he starts laughing really out loud. And everybody was, all the MPs were laughing, and even the scientists. You think you're trying to bluff me, huh? I'm more smart than all you guys put together. Even that grade you used back there to lock into my mind to see if I'm telling you the truth. So how do you know about that grade back there? I said, well, you always use them. He said, how'd you pick up on them? I said, I know. I picked them as soon as I walked in here. That you have them back there to tap into our heads to see if we're telling the truth. And I'll tell you another thing. If he does that one more time and you tell him to do it one time, I'm gonna blow his head off. You know what I did? I proved it. I told that gray to come in. He came in. He was about 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, so this was a different type of gray.
Yeah. And as soon as that gray come in, he said, I'm gonna show you what I can do. I got a little pissed off. I was like a renegade. You push me, I'll push back harder. So he says, I haven't never killed anyone, but these grays deserve to be dead. I put some pressure in his head. I blew his head off. I blew his mind up. I blew his head. His head blew out like if you go on a target range and shoot a watermelon with a 50 caliber and you like that. That's the way his head is.
Oh, Jesus.
I said, don't push me. Well, all of a sudden, they pushed the button. A whole bunch of MPs came in there. I was surrounded by a total around 20. I counted 20 of them. Jeez. And I'm going to tell you one thing. You see the way I just did the watermelon head over there? I can do the same thing to all you guys. They all looked at me and go, you know what the commander said? Is, all right, everybody clear the room. And they believed me. I was bluffing. I was bluffing. I wasn't going to do any of that. They're Air Force. They're told what to do. They're like walking robots. They give them an order and they do it.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm gonna stop you. Is these grays? There's a lot of misconception. Are these actual just entities like other beings, or are they partially androids or robots? Can you explain that real quick?
Well, at the moment in Area 51 when I was there, that one that I blew his head was really a robot. It's an android.
Oh, okay.
But let me explain something about that. These types of grays, even though they're a robot inside, they act just like if they were real ones.
So they have consciousness.
Right. They have consciousness. In fact, that's the one I would call it artificial intelligence that they have. Okay? Now, I felt something that I picked up from these grays, that I noticed that they were having problems on Earth. Okay? They never go outside. They can't go outside out of the Area 51 because they do have a base underneath Area 51, way deep in the Earth. They have a base down there. when they were digging out Area 51, they broke in through one of those caverns. That guy, his name is Philip Schreiner, that he had, when he went to those tunnels, they blew up his fingers, those weapons they got down there. That's a real story. That happened before I even got there. So they do have these graves have a base under Area 51. Okay. And they also gave technology to the U.S. military, especially the high command generals and colonels and majors. And the Joint Chiefs Staff know all this stuff. The new ones that they have now with Trump, they don't know all this stuff. They're kept.
So I want to sidetrack again because I have a question just popped into my mind. When we had the small ice age and a lot of North America got flooded, and the Indians, they went underground. They said the ant people took them underground. Would that be the Greys, or were these?
Yes. They're not. They look like ant. To them, the Native American looks like those are
the big eyes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I need to explain something about those Greys. There are good Greys. Okay. The good Greys that I know, there's one that protects me all the time. It comes when I had the first encounter with him. I was very young. I have one. I have a Grey that is still with me. It will stay with me as long as I'm here on Earth. I came here on a mission too, just like the rest of the extraterrestrial. We are all extraterrestrial. All the humans on Earth are all extraterrestrial from different star systems. And a lot of the extraterrestrials, like you and me, have a mission here on Earth. Some of them don't know that mission because the control that other civilization that's been living here on Earth called the overlords. That's the name that was given to them. They have been controlling the Earth for 500,000 years.
And I know you didn't want to talk about this, and we won't talk about it. I just have a quick question. The dinosaurs too, right? It was like a rescue park. Like Earth was like a park, right, for the animals, for the dinosaurs and the humans. Is that what it was?
Okay, let me explain something more about that. It's like the movie Jurassic Park. These dinosaurs are not from Earth. They were brought here by a different civilization. All these different dinosaurs came from different star systems. Some of them are really bad, especially the one they call the what is the one that
Tyrannosaurus Rex?
the
Raptors?
Yeah, what do you call the one with little? You just said it the first time.
The T-Rex?
T-Rex. Those are really bad. Okay. In fact, some of those T-Rex are actually in Mars. Oh. Mars does have these dinosaurs. They're still there. Okay. These T-Rex came from Mars, and they were brought.
So our world basically is just a big melting pot of entities from other planets. Then
exactly. This planet was constructed itself. It put itself together. This planet Earth is made of many planets. The oldest mountains on the planet Earth is the Blue Ridge Mountains. They're the oldest one in the planet. And that's where I live, in the Blue Ridge Mountain. The Blue Ridge Mountains are the safest mountains on the planet right now. I was instructed to come here, and this is where I lived for the last 22 years. So going back to the different types of dinosaurs, they came from different star systems.
Yeah.
They were, some of them were in danger because the planet was being destroyed. So they removed these animals, especially the one that has the long necks and long tail.
Yeah.
They don't hurt nobody. They were brought here to protect them. And another thing that you need to know, that the oil that's in the ground, they think that comes from dinosaurs. That's not true. That's not true.
Do you know where it comes from?
It was when the Earth was constructed, was putting together into a round globe. The intensity of the rock formation was so hot that a lot of the formation from different rocks that constructed the whole planet came from different planets that had a liquid form embedded in the rock. So when the Earth came together, all these rocks formation start to release a liquid, which is black, and that's where the oil came from. It's all over the Earth. The Earth it's constructed all over. The problem is that the humans need to think this, that the oil that's in the Earth, they need to stop removing it.
Yeah, it's there for a reason, right? And it causes instability when you take so much out of it, right?
Yeah, it helps the Earth balance itself all over in this star system. And it goes into orbit around the sun. It's like the tree. You cut off the roots, it'll lose the foundation of the tree and then it'll fall. It's the same concept with all these planets surrounding the Earth. It's the same thing. If you start, there's a lot of extraterrestrial that tap into the sun and remove a lot of the hot liquid that makes the sun glow the way it does. And they use that for fuel. And what's good about that fuel, and once you put it in the ship reconstructs itself. So it will never run out of fuel again. That's why they tap into our sun and take the liquid that's in there, and that the Earth's sun is more than what you think. It's not. It's more than you think. It's a planet. Okay. If you go behind the Earth, if you go behind the sun, it's just a planet on the backside, just like the moon. You never see the other side of the moon because
the dark side of the moon.
It's dark on the backside. Okay, there's a lot of stuff behind the moon and the sun. There's actually 3 planets behind the sun. When the planets rotate around the sun, you always see the brightness of the sun. The sun turns at the same time as the other planets circles around it. You never see the backside of the sun, just like the moon. The moon here is a satellite. It was brought here many years ago, thousands of years ago. We did have a moon that exploded, and they brought this in place. A very high technology of extraterrestrial brought that planet here. Not the planet, but the moon here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of resources on the moon. There's titanium on the moon. There are different gases on the moon. I can't go into too much detail.
I heard there was a lot of gold there too. They found on one of the NASA missions.
Well, the gold is not really from the moon. The gold was taken by other extraterrestrial for their own resources. because they use that gold for many things. There are extraterrestrials that turn the gold into liquid and they eat it. They eat it. They eat gold.
Wow.
Well, you know, it's like colloidal gold. I take it when I start feel a little sick or something. I take it and right away it goes away. It does heal you. It does many things. The moon is more like a satellite. There are things behind it. The moon's got many secrets. Okay, we do have a base there. We've been going back to the moon for a long time.
Well, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, because I think we're gonna have to have another show. But
yeah, we can do that.
I know today you wanted to go over the volcanoes a little bit and what's going on. I know I just looked up the research just yesterday, and they said August 25th, so just a couple days ago, Yellowstone, the hot springs are drying up. There's a lot of tremors. There's a lot of drum beat sounds. Cistern Springs, I believe that's in Wyoming. It's like completely empty right now. And the limestone is starting to melt in certain areas. So,
let me explain that. Okay, there's a person out there that built a machine. I want to talk about it. He did a bad thing. He shouldn't have done that. He wanted to stop all the volcano from exploding. What a mistake he did. All right. Everything he did been reversed. Okay. I'm gonna give his name out. I know he was trying to do. I'm not saying he did it. He's a bad person. He's not. He's a good person. The thing is that before you do anything, you have to analyze what you're about to do. He does have a machine that stopped all the volcanoes from exploding. He did a wrong thing. That was not the right thing to do. I'm going to explain. All the volcanoes, either they're underwater or every part of the planet, they're all connected. All they're doing is balancing the earth. They're all connected. They're releasing pressure. When they release pressure, what it does, let me explain this. I'm going to go really deep into it.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, the volcano. Let's talk about Yellowstone Park. Yellowstone Park is the grandfather of all the volcanoes all over the earth. If you stop the pressure from all the volcanoes, especially the one in Hawaii, okay, the one that's blowing pressure, it's exploding, it's shooting lava and all that.
Yeah, that's a shield volcano, and it releases a lot of lava over time. Instead of one giant eruption, it's a constant pressure release. Yeah.
These pressure that's coming out of that volcano in Hawaii, it has to happen. It does. If it does not, all these volcanoes are stopped all over the planet. The Yellowstone Park will blow up. If you stop the pressure from releasing, okay, let's say you get a tank and you fill it up with air, and you're putting so much air in there. Or let's say you get a tire, like a tire of a car, and you put too much air, or a bicycle. Put air in your bicycle, so much air, and it has a limit. It tells you on the tire how much PSI air you're going to put in. Okay, for example, let's say you're going to put 15 pounds, and you're putting 30 in it. What do you think when you put 30 in it, what's going to do? It's going to blow up, right?
Yeah.
Because you put too much air. That's what these volcanoes are doing. They're releasing pressure from the grandfather, which is Yellowstone Park. If that Yellowstone Park ever explodes, the whole planet will be destroyed. Not just the United States, but take out the whole world.
Yeah, there was only one other volcano about 70,000 years ago, 74,000 years ago. It was called the Toba volcano, and this was in, let's see here. I believe it was Indonesia. Yeah, it was in Indonesia, and they call it Yellowstone's big sister. And that almost wiped out all of mankind. There was only about 4,000 humans left in the world after that explosion. The world, the temperature cooled by like 20 degrees for like 7 years, and all the ash fall out, and so we almost died. We went from hundreds of thousands of humans to just 4,000, and that's crazy.
Well, Earth was inhabited by many races. Right now, we got about 7 billion, very close to 8 billion people on the Earth. Back many thousands of years ago, there was 72 billion on the planet.
Jesus.
Yeah, before the Ice Age. Okay, I want to make that clear. Now, like I said, the pressure has to be released. All the volcanoes are connected, and they release certain pressure. Yellowstone Park, you got to understand something. You need to know this. That Yellowstone Park and all the volcanoes have their own intelligence. They communicate with each other. They do. They have their own intelligence. They have their own matrix, just like we do. We have our own real reality in real time. They have their own intelligence. They communicate with each other. They do. They're not like humans that we have minds and that. They have an intelligence that they release certain pressure in different places. If you stop that from doing that, you're going to blow the Earth. All life will be extinguished in about 30 days. The Earth will be no longer inhabited. Now, these elites, let me talk a little bit about them. The cabal, they think they're going to be safe in those bunkers they have built everywhere on this planet. They got over 900 bunkers here in the United States, especially the Ozark. They've been loading up that place with food like you won't believe. They got enough food down there for 100 years, but that's not going to take it. If Yellowstone Park goes, everybody goes. Underground, above ground, it doesn't matter. You will all go. Now I want to explain another thing.
Okay, wait. So the scientists right now, they're saying if Yellowstone exploded, first you would see the water's all going to dry up. The land's going to swell up. It's going to like a pimple. It's going to get big, and people won't have time. The news will cover it, but you won't have time to fly into another country. You're going to die, basically.
No.
It's too late. But they said it would be 2,500 times more devastating than the Mount St. Helens volcano that erupted. And they said everybody would die instantly in all the surrounding states of Wyoming. So within like 100 miles, everyone would instantly die. And then you have this gas. It's called pyroclastic flows. That's the ash and the gas clouds, and they go 450 miles per hour. And nobody can outrun that. If you're in a car, you're just going to get stuck in it, and you're going to die. And they said just the North American continent alone, it'll be 5 inches in lava, like thick lava, and 3 to 5 foot in ash a month later. And then that's when the nuclear winter starts. So even if there are humans alive in other countries, you now have the nuclear winter where it's 20 to 30 degrees lower, cooler weather. So it's going to be snowing in a lot of places. Just the changing of the weather is automatically going to make all the crops die out. And there's going to be no food. You can't grow any food. and so you won't have any food to feed your animals, so they're going to die, and you're going to eat them, and you can't bring them back to life because you have no food to feed them. And so it's just one of these things that and they said that would be for like 8 years. And like you said, the only ones that's going to have food for that long are the cabals.
No,
you're saying they're not even safe.
they're not safe. They're not. Look, they're doing all this. They think they're going to be safe. Let me explain something. In the year 2009, I went to Miami. I was getting my passport ready because I was going to Barcelona, Spain, to do a healing on a woman. And when I went and got my passport, because I had a plane ticket, and I was going to stay there 16 days, I came back. I got in my car, and something told me, because I was parked in the handicap, because I can't walk very far. So I was able to walk at that time. I got in my car, and I sat there. I started to put my seatbelt on. Something told me, no, you're coming with us. I was taken through the garage parking lot, those ones you ride and they go up higher. They're made out of concrete. I went through, they shot, this was in daylight. It was around 2:00, and they beamed the light through I saw it coming through my car, because I have a Lincoln Navigator. And they pulled me through there. I had a white shirt on. And I saw myself going through the concrete like it wasn't even there. And they put me in, I went into a craft, a small disc. Then I was taken to a mothership. And then I went into the mothership. And then I got out. These were people from a different type of civilization that was connected to my people. I cannot say their names. It's kept secret. Anyway, so I got in there, and they took me in, and they took me into the future of the planet. And I saw the planet on fire. It was glowing like the sun. Everything was destroyed. And I saw the future of this planet Earth. Now, before the fire, and it was done by Yellowstone Park did that. When it blew up, you could see the fire growing all around the planet really quickly. It made the whole planet Earth look just like the sun. Everybody was incinerated, except for the chosen one like us. I saw an evacuation before Yellowstone Park blew up. It was an evacuation of many motherships. They showed up from different star systems. A lot of them were taking a lot of the humans on the Earth, was lifted into these ships and taken into the mothership. They removed, I'll tell you exactly how much they removed. They removed over 3 billion people from the Earth.
Wow, that's a lot.
The rest had to stay. There was no cabal allowed to go up there. When I saw the Earth do that, I saw all these bad entity, extraterrestrial, like the cabal and all these people, they all were disintegrating. When they they did the evacuation of these 3 billion people on these motherships. As soon as that ship picked up the last person and went into space, the whole Earth was covered with fire. It looked just like the sun.
Wow.
I'm telling you, future that will happen if they don't listen.
Yeah, and that's the thing about realities, right? Is really a lot of mankind and other entities. We could put our minds together and make and have a positive energy, right? That changes the outcome. Isn't that part of it?
The earth is not supposed to destroy. It's not. The earth is, it's a place where you can find many things, many beautiful things. It's like a heaven on earth, but there's bad people here. They have to be removed. Okay. I want to give you a little bit more information. When I saw the future of Earth being on fire, they put me back in my car, and you ain't gonna believe my white shirt was dirty going through the concrete parking. My shirt was dirty, and I got in my car and put my seatbelt on. I drove. My parents lived in Miami, where you get off the turnpike into Quail Roost Drive. I was getting a turn to get off. I couldn't turn my car. My car was guided. They told me to get off at 200th Street off the turnpike going south in Miami. I did. Well, I couldn't control it. The car did itself. I put my hands on the steering. I couldn't get off. I couldn't turn to get off. It did it itself. And I believe that the people that took me up there and saw the future of the earth, this is what happened. This is incredible. I get off at 200th Street. There's cars going back and forth. The car stopped. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to run through these cars. No, the car stopped. I wasn't controlling the brakes or the steering wheel. All the cars stopped going through, and they made me go across the road. And I went to a shopping center in Miami. It's still there. It's called Southridge Mall. There happened to be a movie theater there. And the word in my head starts saying, knowing, knowing, knowing. I said, what is knowing? I know it means knowing things.
Yeah.
And I see these two black couple coming out of the area where the movie theater is. Says, is there a movie here called Knowing? Oh, yeah, we just saw it. You got to go see it. He says, really? So I got out, parked my car, locked it up, and the movie was going to come on at 4:30 p.m. So I said, you know what? I feel like eating ice cream. So I went, looked for an ice cream parlor in there, which it wasn't too far from the entrance of the. So what I did, I bought the ticket first and then went to eat a banana split because I haven't had it in a long time, so I ate one. So when I finished, I said, you know what? The movie's going to start about 15 minutes. I'm going to go in there and try and get my seat in there. I go in there and I sit in there and to see Knowing. And I did watch it. And at the very end, it shows the earth on fire, just like I just had the experience like about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, wow.
It happened just like it. So what it was going on is they show me a real life of the future. And here is a movie that's doing the same stuff, showing the same thing. So what does that mean? It means to me that if you don't stop it, it will happen. Okay. Here's what okay. The person that said that he stopped the volcano, he did stop many of them. His name is Mike Emery. That's his name. He's not a bad person. He did the wrong thing because he smiled about it. Like, you know, when you stop the ego comes in and says,
yeah,
well, I did something. No, you did the wrong thing. He was being interviewed by a very nice person named Sandra DeRoy. She's a film producer and maker. She's a skeptic. But she was there. She was interviewing him. Her name is Sandra DeRoy, D-A-R-O-Y. That's her name. She's a very nice girl. And she was just following the story about this guy. And he used a machine called the argon bubble. It's a technology, and it does work. It does stop things, and he did stop it. But he took it into like, oh man, I did something for the others. Are you kidding? You did the worst thing you could do. You do not do things like that. You have to analyze. You have to ask questions. That's why I say assume nothing and question everything. That's the way I do things.
Yeah.
You don't do things without analyzing what you're about to do. You think about it before you do it. If you're going to do it, not just go ahead and do it because you feel like you did something right. You didn't do nothing right. You did wrong. And I'm saying it right here live. You can't do things like that. The volcanoes are communication. They have their own system. They communicate with each other. They are alive, just like we are alive. They don't have a spirit and soul like we have. It's a different type of technology that's got to do with nature. Nature have their own technology. Okay, that's why when you cut a tree down, it'll grow back again. It'll take a long time to grow, but it will grow again. If you leave the roots in the ground, it will come alive again. It's the same thing with a volcano. Do not, anyone out there, don't do anything like that again, please. You want us to die? Because that's what will happen. The volcanoes are now communicating with each other. They are releasing the pressure again. I made sure of that. I took care of that with other very high intelligence. We brought back the volcano to release pressure. Let me tell you something. What he did was wrong. Okay, if we didn't intervene in it. There's underneath Vermont, there's a volcano. It would explode in the next 90 days. It would take out all that area. All people would die. I can't allow that. Earth, Prime Creator does not allow things like that. Prime Creator is real. It's not what you think, like they showed you in the Bible, that God exists. He does exist, but that's not his name. His call is Prime Creator. Every universe has a Prime Creator, different from one another. It's not one for all the universes. There's millions of universes out there in different higher dimensions. You want to know where God is at in your Prime Creator here on Earth? Isn't it 417th? 417 density, 417 dimension into the future. That's where he's at. But he controls this planet. He controls all the planets in this universe. You know, he is a prime supreme master that when you ask something, it's part of your karma. Okay, everybody's got a karma, even myself.
Can I interrupt you? Because you were talking about all the different entities and stuff. I just saw a documentary the other day about octopuses and squid, and they're different from every other life form on the planet Earth. And they said essentially they are living proof of aliens, you know, for all the regular people that don't believe in aliens, and they're right in front of us, these octopuses. Do you know where they come from or anything about that?
No, I don't, but I did do an interview with a person. He's in Europe. I believe it's I think Scotland or England, the United Kingdom. I did an interview with him, also with my friend Johnny Webb.
Yeah, I know Johnny Webb.
He's a good friend of mine. I had both of them on the show. This person has octopus limbs in his stomach. And every so often they change and they drop down, and he collects them, put them in the freezer. In fact, Johnny Webb has one of them. He's one of those extraterrestrials. They do exist. They're octopus people.
Yeah.
They are real. Okay. There are not so many here on Earth. There's only a few. They came on a mission for themselves. I don't know what their mission is. I don't. But I know that they exist, and I know that they're real, and there are many types of species here from different universes that are here to study the planet and the Earth humans. Most of the Earth humans are hybrid, and a lot of the human hybrids. If you notice that we have a tailbone.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. A lot of the humans, not all of them, but the humans are, they have reptilian DNA in their bodies. Especially,
I heard we were mixed with a lot of different ETs, really.
we are, the humans on Earth is mixed with a lot of stuff. A lot of the creation of different humans and hybrids were created by the Lyrians and also the overlords. The reptilian have crossed.
What are overlords? Because you mentioned them earlier in the show too.
The overlords are the one that control the Earth.
And what do they look like us, or they?
They do have not a complete human form structure like we are. They do have arms, they have legs, but they're very different. Their faces look like for example, the face of a seal.
Oh wow!
The seal in the ocean.
Yeah.
Their faces like that. Their former body goes down, and the back, the rear end, the back end, it looks more like a duck.
Oh wow!
They have long legs. They're about 7 to 8 feet tall. They're the overlords. They're like the one that create a lot of hybrids on the planet. There are people that have the blood type of DNA called Rh negative.
Yeah, I've heard of that. It's very rare.
The Rh negative is more closer to the reptilian species. And there's a couple here that I know that do have Rh. I know a female here down the street that is the wife of a friend of mine. She has Rh. A very nice person. But I know another one right down the street here that's, I think he's crazy. He talks too much. He's got a big ego. His ego's bigger than his body. He talks a lot of crap about free energy and all that. And he's completely wrong. He thinks he knows everything. That's what he tells you. He tells you, I know more than you. My IQ is 160. He said, that's the same IQ as Albert Einstein. He says, you know what? My IQ is 197. I'm 37 higher than you are. Who's smarter, you or me? And he said, I am. He says, well, okay, go ahead and take your ego and stick it up your ass. That's what I do. You know, I'm sorry, I'm not used to talking bad words. I don't like to, but when I think about him, I think he's an asshole.
Yeah.
And he thinks a lot of stuff. He thinks he's better than everybody else.
He's lost in his own mind. He's too much ego.
Yeah, I think he's schizophrenia. He thinks things anyway.
All right, Max, I think we should end it here. because I kept you for like 2 hours. I'm sorry about that.
I don't care if you want to go 5 hours.
I think we should just do a part 2 in a few weeks or something.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to find out more about Killing the Void podcast, you can visit our website at www.killingthevoid.com. You will find links to download our latest episodes. Thank you and have a good day.